I'm Atticus Scott, former Kentucky State Representative, and you're joining me today on State Live Streams.
We will continue to provide updates as we have more information.
Kentucky State Representative, and you're joining me today on State Live Streams.
Hello, everyone. We are here today to stay informed regarding the community commitment process. My name is Tyra Thomas Walker, and I am one of the co-chairs of the Kentucky Alliance Against Racist and Political Repression. We want to do our part to educate community about the community commitment, and the key word is educate. Too often we ask community members to respond, to give feedback, or to show up. But if the community is not aware of what's happening or does not understand what's being proposed, how can we meaningfully respond? As an educator and a JCPS employee, I understand this deeply. We will not forget how we got here, and we never will. After we stood in March for Breonna Taylor, the U.S. Department of Justice conducted a series of investigations into the Louisville Metro Police Department. Those investigations resulted in the DOJ findings, followed by the press conference led by Attorney General Merrick Garland, announcing a federal consent decree, a document designed to hold both Louisville Metro Police Department and Louisville Metro government accountable. Today, because of the decisions made under the current presidential administration, those federal consent decrees are no longer in place. On the very same day that the federal lawsuit was canceled, Mayor Greenberg and Police Chief Humphrey announced the community commitment. That timing matters. We need to read this document. We need to understand this document. We need to know exactly what is happening. History has often shown us again and again that when government moves without full transparency, it becomes the responsibility of the people to stay informed and engaged. And here we are once again. Because of this, the Kentucky Alliance Against Racist and Political Repression will be holding 3 educational workshops focused specifically on reading and understanding the community commitment document. This is a call directly to you. You need to be aware of what's happening, and at the very least, you need to be informed of your rights as we move forward. The workshop locations will be at the Carl Braden Memorial Center at 3208 West Broadway on February 6th. The second one will be at Molina Passport at 2028 West Broadway on February 13th. The third will be at the Carl Braden Memorial Center, located at 3208 West Broadway on February the 20th. Education is the first step to accountability, and we are committed to making sure our community has the knowledge it deserves. Thank you. And our next speaker is our other co-chair, K.A. Owens.
Hello, folks. I'm K.A. Owens. I'm one of the co-chairs of the Kentucky Alliance, along with Tyra Walker and Dre Dawson. Dre Dawson couldn't be here with us today. And just as a note, the times for those sessions, 1, 2, and 3, are going to be from 6 to 8 p.m., 6 to 8 p.m. So, and the focus is going to be on the community commitment, the Community Safety Commission, and what is actually going on with that process. We want the community to be deeply involved with that process. And the reason we're putting on these sessions, these 3 different sessions, as again, we want the community to be involved, and so to be involved in a useful way, in a useful, productive way. There's a certain amount of knowledge that has to be gained, achieved, secured, absorbed. And so we're just providing that opportunity. So and just as a sort of historical note, we do want to remember that how all this came about. it came about through, of course, the struggle for justice for Breonna Taylor, where Louisville was sort of the center of the universe for days, weeks, and months, where people all over the world had put a focus on Louisville, Kentucky, not for basketball and not for the Derby. And so actually it was a beautiful thing that came out of tragedy. That is, the tragedy of Breonna Taylor's death and the tragedy for Breonna Taylor's family resulted in people from all over the United States coming to Louisville to demand justice for Breonna Taylor. And so the American Justice Department put a focus on Louisville and came up with a consent decree, which should have been approved by the federal judge. But there was a lot of foot dragging on that. And then you got a new president, and that administration opposed consent decrees, period. So then this administration in Louisville, as a response to the federal consent decree going away, came up with the community commitment, part of which is Community Safety Commission, and some reaching out to the community with community surveys, 192 on the first one and 193 on the second one. Responses, those were the responses to the first and second surveys put out by mayoral administration. And so we feel, I think really everyone feels, that there needs to be more community outreach, more knowledge built up in the community, and the community needs to be more involved. So also, as far as just pure information, go to the Kentucky Alliance website, and there is a community commitment tab on the homepage. And check out the subjects. You have the independent monitor, how the Louisville Metro Police Department and the Louisville Metro government are going to handle search warrants, how they are going to handle protests, and more. So that's the Kentucky Alliance website. So just remember that the sessions are going to be Friday, February the 6th from 6 to 8 at the Carl Brayton Center. Session number 2, Friday, February the 13th, 2026, 6 to 8 in Passport Molina, 28 West Broadway. And session number 3 from 6 to 8 p.m. Friday, February 20th, 2026. And so at the Brayton Center, So first and third sessions at the Brayton Center, 3208 West Broadway. Second event Passport Molina, 2028 West Broadway. That would be February 13th. So come out, study, learn with other members of the community. We welcome you.
How y'all doing? My name is Keyshawn Johnson. I am an 18-year-old community activist, but also entrepreneur. I own Resilient Hustle Clothing alongside my brothers, Kimaje and Aisley. But I am here on behalf of young adults and the youth. I feel like these documents haven't been marketed correctly. We haven't really heard about it. It's not conversation. And with a lot of us being first-time voters, for us to put people in position and make respectful and responsible decisions on who we are voting for to be put in these offices, we need to have this information. There's a lot of torches being passed on without us knowing how hot the flame is. So we need the information, we need the education, we need our community to come together. A lot of times, opinionated decisions is being made without us knowing, and then they directly impact us. So I feel like we need to get our youth involved. These are the conversations that we need to have with our young people. A lot of young people need to be put at these tables. It's a lot of times when our community is getting talked at instead of talked with. And the people that's in office, they're not actually going to be impactful within the places that they represent, but other than the opinions that they feel like need to be, the changes that they need to be made off their personal opinions. As I recently said on an interview, there's a lot of pain and trauma that we are feeling that isn't being talked about or isn't being touched on within the people that we are putting there. So with these community commitments and however we hold LMPD accountable, how are we supposed to know how to hold them accountable without knowing how they are actually articulating their jobs? So I feel like we need our community to come out on these 3 dates, just get a bit of information on how you can hold LMPD accountable, who to reach out to, the places where to get the knowledge, and just come around a community of people that want to be knowledgeable as well.
Good morning. My name is Nancy Cavalcante, and I'm a member of the People's Consent Decree Coalition. You ask, what is that? It's a group of people who came together after Merrick Garland came here with the convictions or the final findings about the activities of LMPD and LMG in this city. And so people began to rally either from groups, individuals, or organizations in the city to say, well, how are we going to be involved in this consent decree that they're working on? So it's been active since that point, and they've done many things. The Kentucky Alliance is a member of that coalition, along with other organizations here in the city. And so we've worked hard on making people aware as we can. I so appreciate the educational component that the Alliance is bringing because it's so important. We worked in the past on a resolution holding LMPD accountable for their behavior, and also the reappointment of Ed Harness. We are currently working in the direction of an ordinance to look at, are there things that should be in law from that community commitment that we can then count on to help reform the police department. We're also looking at decertification issues, and along the lines of this education, how do we monitor what is happening in this process around the community commitment? Because there's a process. K8 mentioned the Community Safety Commission. You know, how are they interfacing? How is that impacting us? And I so appreciate Keishawn's input from the young adults here in our city, because they are not the future of our city, they are our city. And if they're not engaged and we're not helping them be engaged, then we're not doing our job. So thank you to the Alliance, and get involved. Please get involved. Read the commitment, know what's happening, and know how changes are being asked for in your city. Thank you.
And I'm Greg Titchener, Secretary of the Kentucky Alliance Against Racist and Political Repression. Want to invite everybody to check out our website, KentuckyAlliance.org. Click on Community Commitment for a detailed timeline of events and how the situation has unfolded in our Louisville community. Thank you.
Healthy Business Connect Us empowers families to thrive through holistic well-being, early child development, and accessible health care.
We are committed to fostering connections, knowledge sharing, and support networks that enhance the physical, mental, and emotional health of children, parents, and caregivers.
By building bridges between healthcare providers, social services organizations, educators, and families.
We aspire to create a world where every child experiences a healthy and nurturing start.
Setting the foundation for a brighter future.
We know you're watching a live stream, but we wanted to take a moment to tell you about the Kentucky Alliance.
The Kentucky Alliance Against Racist and Political Repression is a 50-year-old grassroots organization here in Kentucky that fights against police brutality and political repression.
And we stand with the National Action Network and the 60th Anniversary March on Washington.
Folks, support the Kentucky Alliance through our Cash App, $KYALL 1974, and also through our website at KentuckyAlliance.org.
We are the Kentucky Alliance.
Si no haces nada más.
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 Mantente vivo.